Are you garbage?
So I leave there and I go work for America's Most Wanted in
I have heard this, yes.
in D.C.
What, tracking down cases? What are you doing?
Yes.
No, you're not.
Well, I'm the research, one of the lead research people. So what happens is,
Did you meet John Walsh?
yeah, that's how I got the job.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Beat
Yeah.
him up at a bar one time.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I ran into John Walsh when I was in college. His daughter was taking a tour of the school I was at, and I went up to him, and I was like, I'm from the same area and all this, and he was like, you got, I was like, I do communications. He was like, if you want an internship, call this number.
Damn.
And so I called, and I got the internship. And that was while I was in college. When I graduated, they were like, you can come work now for the actual show. I was working for a side show called Final Justice. And
Sweeps week.
I was producing episodes
Just
of that show.
shoplifters?
I was
Jesus.
producing the show in college and for free. So they were like, this kid hustles. So when I go back, they're like, they need stories to pursue. So I'm like, look, this guy, he fucking raped a bunch of people. He's on the run. I'm like, let's go get him.
You're making shit up.
Yeah, I'm just like, and I'm reading like the most disturbing.
Just fucking warping your brain.
It's fucked. I mean, like, I like crime shows and like all those biography shows about, but it's fucked up. At one point, I think this is in the book that is coming out, that they gave me, they give you like different case profiles, right? And then you dig deeper. And then if one is really good, then I'll call the FBI and be like, what do you have about him?
Holy
and they'll
shit.
send stuff.
Fuck.
And they sent me a diary of a pedophile. So it's his personal diary of what he's doing. And you just, like, at the end of the day,
It's like,
you're
hey, I'm just
just
trying to book him on the show. I don't
Yeah.
want his
Yeah.
life story. Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
And then I go to the story
That's
editor
nuts.
and I go, I lay out basically, here's the crime, here's the guy, here's what he did, here's why he's a fugitive, because they want to pursue people that
Sure.
are fugitive. And then they were like, yeah, they accepted it, and they go, he escaped. A lot of the guys, especially like sex criminals, they'll go to certain countries where you can basically, it's easier to perform sex crimes, but also to skip out on the justice system.
Sure.
So he had escaped or bribed somebody in like Costa Rica. So that I was like, and then they send me down there.
What?
Yeah. So I go do the episode. I'm on an episode. You see me like, in
Did they
the
give
back.
you any heat to go down there?
They gave me, no. They gave me,
I'm just an intern.
Yeah, they
What
gave
the
me like,
Give me a
fuck?
clipboard.
gave me a guide and a producer and a cameraman.
Hey,
and
man, you want to be on TV?
Here's how fucking bad I was at it though. Like, I mean, like how I'm,
They didn't send you down there to find the guy, did they?
No, but to do the story, all right? So they sent me with a producer. I'm one of the like
shit.
associate producer, plus I speak Spanish, so I'm like translating.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah.
There you go.
And we're sitting there, and they're like, I meet this person, and then I meet a girl who had been abused, and I'm sitting here interviewing her for the show.
Mhm.
Camera's over here, I'm translating, and dude, as she's telling me her story, I start crying.
Oh.
But like, she's not crying, right? She's like, it happened to me, motherfucker. And I'm like, and I'm like trying to stop, and then I just look at her. I'm like, yeah, I can't stop. Like, I just keep crying, and then like one of the camera guys is like, this is probably not your gig.
Yeah, I don't think go back to fucking being a realtor.
He's like, I'm like, ugh. So I do that job for a few months, and I'm my first day on that job, by the way, my first day on the America's Most Wanted as a full employee
Sure.
is September 10th, 2001 in DC. So I'm there, like my second day of going to work is 9/11, right? And like and so then my whole show becomes like profiling. We just profile Bin Laden every week, right? Like,
Still looking for him.
yeah, and I'm like at the White House,
What?
Because we're doing pressers from like whatever they talk. All they would talk about is terrorism. So then they would send our crew to the White House. So I would just be sitting on the lawn, that West Wing lawn, just
Yeah.
out there calling friends like, I'm at the fucking White House.
Yeah.
And then
Flexing on people.
people would be like, they can hear you, right? And I was like, oh yeah. Like I'm just like, fucking,
Yeah, dude, this place is fucking awesome. Where are you guys drinking at?
This guy's a cop. I don't trust him.
Did Boomer ever get that weed? What's the deal? Gang, by the way, the book is called I'd Like to Play Alone, Please. You have to fucking check it out. Fantastic.
Please do. You can get an audiobook if you like to, listen to them, ebook, hardbook, whatever. But I do that for a few months, and I have the same feeling as like the real estate thing, where I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, no
Like,
shit.
right? And it's like immediately. So at September 10th, first day, And they gave me a 3-month contract. They offered me a re-up. They're like, you want to do like a year contract? And I'm like, no. And I load up a truck and I drive to LA.
Then I joined the
To
CIA.
do comedy?
Yeah.
You were like already dead set. Had you done it yet?
No, I'd never done stand. I'd hosted a couple things where I'm like, it feels like you're doing stand up.
Right.
I hosted a talent show. I'd done like improv, like high school
Sure.
shows.
Trying to do bits on America's Most Wanted.
And then communications, like in college, they would do the fucking lamest videos, right? Because you had to shoot and edit in your videos. Well, I would always do comedy videos, right? Like I was trying to make comedy videos, and my professor was like, "What the fuck is this?" Right? He said people are doing like shit that like you'd find at like a local, like a videographer for like a wedding would do.
Sure.
And I was just like, what if you froze your diarrhea? Or something, like so.
Here's a compilation of car crashes.
And he was like, "The fuck is this?" And I was like, "It's funny, right?" And he was like, "No."
I got this guy in Costa Rica. You got to have him on.
you're
He's
gonna love him.
unbelievable.
So I moved there January 2nd of 2002. I moved to LA, and then a few months later I signed up for the Groundlings, which is like the improv show.
Yeah.
And because I thought I was going to do that. I thought I was going to be like a comedy actor. And then there's stand-ups in my class. Sam Tripoli was in that class with me.
Nice.
Nick Wegener, who's a writer now. And they were both doing stand-up at the time, and they were like, you should
gotta
try
do this.
stand-up. Yeah.
Damn.
That's kind of...
What'd you do on 9/11? They give you a half day. They send you home. What happened?
Pizza party.
It was the longest. It was the longest fucking day because
Jesus.
I remember I was tying my shoes. I had rented a room at a house in College Park, Maryland.
Okay.
Right, which is like outside, like 30 minutes outside
Yeah.
of DC. And I'm tying my shoe. I still remember, and they happened to have like Good Morning America or one of those locals on, and it showed the guy like the smoke coming out. I still remember it was like Bryant Gumbel or someone being like. They still thought it was like a Cessna. They're like, oh, a Cessna
Hit
the thing. And as I'm putting on the other shoe, the second plane, and I get in my truck, and I'm driving into DC, and all the radio stations are like, we're under attack, and I'm like, we're not under. What the fuck is he even talking about? And then they're like, the Pentagon got hit, and I'm like, I'm driving into DC,
Jesus.
and then we go in there, and like it was. And here's the thing: I worked at Fox Studios, local Fox affiliate on Wisconsin Ave in DC. So when you're in a news state, like if you're home watching TV that day, that's a lot. There are 100 TVs that have all the feeds. So all you hear is every feed and every screen. And we stayed there until like 11 o'clock at night. So at the end of the day, everybody was just like,
Jeez.
it was, yeah.
That's a lot to take in.
It was a lot
especially
one day.
being there, like
Yeah.
in DC.
It was a lot.
Damn.
That's fucking wild.
It was a wild day, yeah.
Man, from that to the Groundlings. Jesus.
Yeah.
I was like,
Talk about a
Somebody
180.
give me a
I was
location.
like, let's yuck it up, guys. Yeah.
Holy shit, that's fucking crazy. Brothers.